Hello everyone, welcome to this video. Thank you very much for clicking on it. I really appreciate it. Now then, I didn't know this was coming, but I'm very excited to watch it. Goldenchild have dropped the full drama version of Burn It. It's now 9 minutes long, just over. So the original was, what was it, just over 6 minutes or just under 7 minutes? It was around that. So we got a full, couple extra minutes going on. I don't know. I don't really know what to expect. Like, are we gonna get an extra bit onto the end so we know what happened to why? I don't know. Are we gonna get more at the beginning? I don't know. I have no idea what to expect from this, but we're absolutely going to watch it because I think music video wise, this is 100% so far my favorite music video of the year. I love this music video so much. So I'm super intrigued and excited to get more of it. Let's get into it. Alrighty, now there are no subs on the video. I don't know if I'm gonna need them. I have no idea if that's even, slightly necessary. Like if we're gonna have spoken moments. But if it is, it's not the end of the world. I'm sure I can figure out what's going based on context clues for the most part. And obviously, the majority of it, I imagine, is going to be stuff we've already seen anyway. So, yeah. Anyway, let's get into this. Goldenchild Burn It drama, full version. 3, 2, 1, go. I love this. I love that this is a thing. I love that they did this. They worked damn hard for this comeback, and I think it's awesome. Oh. Okay. So we get extra stuff at the beginning, and we get the instrumental of the song. Interesting. I'm honestly amazed he survived that, to be able to get up on top of the bus. Like, he fully got mobbed, and yet he still managed to get away. Like, that's... Well, it's creepy. That's real creepy. Oof. Every time that part happens where they come through in that room, I don't know what it is about that moment, but it always makes me jump whenever I see it in the original MV as well. I just want to know if we find out more about what happens to him. That's like main priority right now, is I want to know if we find out more about what happens to Y when he's on top of the bus. So he knew. He knew. Oh man. Oh, that's a hell of a parallel. Oh god, that hurts me. Ah. Oh god, this instrumental is intense. Oh my god. I think I just put some pieces together. When did it look like she was reaching out to hold his hand, like she knew? Oh, I don't want it to end. Okay, so that didn't answer all of my questions. That's all. I still want to know more. I want this movie to continue. I want to know what happens to her and them. I want to know what happens to Y on top of the bus. I mean, there's no way he's getting out of that. There's no way. But like when I said I feel like I put some pieces together, it almost seemed like, so the way they arranged it, they arranged things differently in this MV to how they did for the like normal song version. In the way it's arranged here, it seems as though when Y lights that flare on top of the bus, the zombies that are harassing the various other groups and stuff all seem to go away, and it seems like from the second that he lights that flare, everything starts to go right for everyone else. You know, with the exception being his sister being a zombie. But then, you know, she gets fixed by Bowman, so it's fine. And it's just, it's interesting because I you know, I watched a bunch of different people's reactions to this MV. I watched a bunch of different people's reactions to it. I waited too long to drink my coffee. I need to heat up. It has gone cold. Yeah, I watched a bunch of people's reactions to it, and the most common thing that I saw when it came to that scene of Y lighting the flare at the end, it was you know, it was partly just like, oh shit, you know, seeing all the zombies coming, but also just like, what? You know, there's a lot of like question marks surrounding that scene, and for me it made total sense. Like it was a last act of self-sacrifice, try and draw as many zombies to him to maybe give someone else another chance. I think that was his character's entire arc through this thing, was one of self-sacrifice. You know, he sacrificed himself for his sister and Bowman, and then he sacrifices himself at the end for the sake of who the hell ever it might help, if he can just draw all this attention to himself on top of the bus, for as long as he can possibly last, you know? And that always just made total sense, but I think in this, the way they've arranged it, like arranged the scenes, does make it seem that it's not in vain. Like, his sacrifice isn't in vain. One, I think it makes more clear the sacrifice that he made, but it also, yeah, it makes it clear, well, it seems anyway that it wasn't in vain, because it seems to make things easier for some of the other groups that are trying to battle their way through. I really like that it makes it more clear, the group of 5, I can't remember the names of all the members yet. Like, there's only a couple that I know for certain, namely Y, Jahan, and Bowman. Those are the only 3 that I know, like, off the top of my head. The others I'm still, oh, it's a red-haired Tag, the one who, you know, with the leg. I think that's Tag, but anyway, yeah, the group of 5 that have the radios, theirs was the one story I couldn't fully keep track of in the other MV, but this, now it kind of makes a lot more sense. So I don't know if I just missed it in the original MV, but I couldn't figure out. I was like, okay, so those 2 make it back, but then where's the other 3 gone? Where's the 6? Like, what happened to them? And now it makes sense. They, you know, had a little zombie infestation. They ran away. Were waiting to get back in touch with the radio guys. Radio guys turned back up, and they're like, where the hell are our friends? And then they got on the radios and bam, 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 reunited. Wonderful. So yeah, that was great. I would love to know what happens more to the 2 guys. So like I said, I think it's Tag. I can't remember the name of the other guy. I'd like to know more what happens to them in the end. But yeah. And then Jahan and his mom. So it really seemed like she was reaching out to hold his hand in a way that, like, she recognized that it was him. And like that whole story was already super painful. That just made it so much more painful. And then also the fact that they had the parallel of that story paralleled with Bowman finding out that you know, the sister, his girlfriend, is bitten beforehand, because we didn't know that. We didn't know that in the original MV, right? It's just she's trying to hide it. He gives her the flower, goes to sleep. She, you know, runs away, ties herself up, and that's when we assumed he found out, was when he found her. But no. But no, he actually knew. Because I was wondering, because, like, you know, it's not an easy place to hide, and her coat was kind of in tatters, so I'm like, there's no way he wouldn't notice that, right? But regardless, having that bit paralleled with Jaehyun's story was so painful. Just like these two different people with two different stories, but both loving their other person, respective of, you know, who they are, so much that they can't fully let them go, even though, you know, they've been bitten, they're gonna turn, blah blah blah. I just think that's beautiful. I think it's a beautiful story in general. I've talked about this before. I talked about this in the original MV reaction that I did, but I love a story like this when it's really, really well done, and I feel like this is really well done. You know, I know some people find zombie stories kind of like cheesy and overdone and blah blah blah, and like in some respects, yes, I agree. But when the focus is on the survivors, and the story is very much about them and the struggles that they go through, the pain, the hope, the love of it all. When it's done like that, and when it's done really well, I love those kind of stories, and I think this is an excellent example of it. It definitely feels reminiscent of like Last of Us and I Am Legend and that kind of story. But yeah. Anyway, that's my thoughts on that. I could probably talk at length about this whole MV and how much I love it. It seriously is. It's my favorite MV so far of the year. I know we're only halfway through February, but it's still my favorite MV so far of the year. I love it so much. I think it's amazing. Anyway, I'm going to end this one here, finally. Thank you very much for watching. I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.